I 32M broke up with my girlfriend 29F who did not accept my conditions about my family, but everyone says she's the right one and I am the fucked up one, so I came here for inside thoughts. I 32M did not have a long-term relationship until last year after my mom 58F and my brother, 19M, involved into a traffic accident 9 years ago, and my brother has disabilities because of it. He has to use a wheelchair and his lower body usage is low, so when he has to walk, he needs to use a walker. He also has really unstable mood changes due to head trauma and PTSD. This has affected my line of specialty in medicine. Before this I was planning to be a urologist, and I am currently a physiatrist who is a fellow in algology. My dad is out of the picture since my brother is a year old. He has his own problems, deep depression, then suicide attempts, which was understood. He has DID due to a sexual abuse from his past. Currently his sister is his conservator, so marriage was annulled when I was 17, he can only come with my aunt. My GF29F knows the situation really well and she knows that I am not separable from them. Sure, we may live in another house, but as long as I can breathe, I will take care of them. I currently live next door to them and my GF and I were thinking of getting serious, and the engagement talk have started 2 months ago. While we were talking about it, she said this last week: I love your mom and your brother, but I don't want us to be so linked to them, so I want us to move to another city and have permanent caretakers for them, or the other family members should take care of them. At first, I laughed, but then she looked me with a stern face. I thought for a minute and said with a calm voice, well, I am not leaving my brother and my mom, so if you have any other thoughts, you can leave and we can end this right now. She was looking like she was shocked, and I again coldly told please leave. She took her stuff from my house in 10 minutes while she was whining, but I stayed put, and when she was at the door I told I love you, but I have other commitments that is much more valuable than you. I hope you will understand this. Now all of my friends and co-workers say I am an asshole and they think I am a robot who is emotionless. Normally I wouldn't give a damn, but everyone anonymously agreed I fucked this, so I came here to take some advice on how should I navigate in future. There's nothing wrong with you having the care of your mother and brother as a non-negotiable priority, but your communication of this to your girlfriend seemed quite abrupt and cold. You were planning on sharing and joining your lives together, then kicked her out after the first hurdle/obstacle in planning a future together rather than discussing it together. Exactly. If you want a partner in life, you need to give them the kind of respect and love you give your family, or they're not a partner. Your reaction to her made it clear to her that she's second class and always will be until you're ready to make someone else in your life equally important to your mother and brother. You are not ready for a serious relationship. That doesn't mean abandoning your family, but it does mean you have to have serious conversations instead of kicking them out at the first sign of trouble. You were very cold about it, and telling her she wasn't as important as your family kind of seems like you aren't ready for serious relationships. I don't think you're wrong for ending it, but you could have talked it over with her. I know you've explained it before, but you could have reiterated, and if she couldn't take it, part amicably. My greatest fear is being a burden to my children or family. Have you ever asked your family how they feel about you basing your life on them? I get needing help here or there, but I'll be damned if I am dependent on my kids or brother for the rest of my life. You even changed your career direction and girl you were going to marry because of them. Sorry, but that level of dependence is unhealthy. Imagine if you died and they still haven't learned to be self-reliant. Until you're ready to actually start a life and family with someone else, don't get into another relationship. Your way though was fine, but the way you did it was very rude. Yes, you wanted to take a clear stand for your family and you can do that, but you single-handedly made all the decisions here. That's not how a good relationship works. And no, I'm not saying you guys should have found a compromise. I'm saying you should have sticked with your initial suggestion. Maybe she was willing to compromise given some time, but you took that opportunity from her and kicked her out. So yes, you're the asshole. Here's what you need to do. Apologize to her. Admit that you were very cold and that you should have communicated with her instead of making all the decisions without her. Don't excuse it with anything. You fucked that up, so take responsibility for your actions. I M15 shared a bed with my best friend M15 and now I'm confused. Update: I've known Will for pretty much my whole life and we're really close. He lives really close by, so we hang out pretty much every day. A few days ago I stayed over at his house since we're on a break from school, and usually I'd sleep on the couch in the living room, but Will's sister was in there with her friends, so Will said that I could just share the bed with him for the night. He's got a small bed but I didn't want to be weird, so I stayed right at the edge. He told me I could relax and kinda pulled me in toward him so I wasn't about to fall off the bed. I was surprised but cool with it, so I just joked, "Oh, so we're the kind of friends that spoon, huh?" And Will just laughed and said, "Are we now?" And he sorta wrapped his arm around me and hugged me. I noticed that he smelled good and I kinda liked being held by him, but maybe I'm just touch-starved or something. My parents don't really do physical affection. He fell asleep like that and I left the next morning. Last night, I stayed over and the couch was available this time, but Will said that I could just stay with him again if I wanted to. And of course I wanted to, so I said yes and we got in his bed. We joke with each other a lot, so I grabbed him and pulled him in close to me and did a really dramatic sniff of his hair and said something stupid like, "Tasty." He laughed and I expected him to shove me off, but instead he took my hand and pulled it around him, so I was pretty much holding him this time. We were both pretty quiet after that and my brain wouldn't shut up, so Will fell asleep before me. I honestly kinda wanted to kiss his head or some bullshit like that, but I thought that would be a little too gay. We were literally still holding hands, so I don't really know what the logic was on that one. I haven't really given much thought to sexuality before. I kinda just assumed that I was straight for some reason, and that Will was too. We live in a pretty conservative area and I actually don't know one out gay person. It's just not really a thing that is okay here. I don't really know what I should do. I don't wanna fuck things up with my best friend. I see people telling you that he's giving you signals and wants to kiss you and you should go for it. I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Instead, have a conversation with him about it. Let him know how you're feeling. It's a very big chance he's attracted to you, but don't go jumping over the moon just yet because he may not be ready for everything that comes with showing affection to another person of the same gender. In my own experiences, things like that have never been just a joke. I've been in a startlingly similar situation with a friend, and now we've been dating for 3.5 months. Go for it, bro. My repressed homosexuality meter is going crazy, and my dude. He's definitely coming on to you. He wouldn't put your hands around him if he wasn't. So the question is, do you get excited and have butterflies in your stomach when you think about this stuff? If so, just go for it. Don't worry about what exactly your sexuality is. I'm a 33-year-old man and I'm still not sure what label I would use for my sexuality. What you label yourself is honestly not that important. I did feel pretty excited afterwards and kinda wanted to be near him again. I'd how to explain it well. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Thanks for your advice. I'm sorry you're going through what is normal adolescent crushing and exploration in a place that doesn't let you be okay with that. One of the most important things in life is to learn about and accept yourself. I think you and him are probably having similar feelings and fears about this situation based on how he's reacting. Thanks for your reply, it was very kind. Honestly, aren't too afraid of being gay or bi or whatever because I'm not really close to my parents and I could just not tell them until I'm out of the house. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to Will and just see how he's feeling about everything. Yeah, communication is key. I had a similar experience in high school and we focused too much on not being gay instead of just having fun with the situation. I would just be honest with each other about like wanting to explore this without putting labels on it. Continue to check in on each other's feelings and thoughts about the situation with no judgment. Keep reminding yourselves that you are 15 and your brains/bodies are still developing, so there is no need to label it anything. My friend and I were so caught up with the fear of being gay or whatever that we couldn't fully enjoy it, because we really could have. Eventually, we just stopped talking and boy was lunch awkward at school with him, We hung out with the same group still. I still regret not being more open with the situation, and it really did impact me because we weren't honest about our feelings with everything. I eventually figured out that I am bisexual, but there is no real need to this stuff when your brain isn't fully developed. Lastly, be safe and conscientious. Go slow and have fun experimenting. Assure him that the secret is safe with you if he wants that. You said you are in a place that may not be accepting, because when you are older you care less and less about what others think. I didn't come out as bi until I was 26, and you don't want to regret not doing this like I did. Have fun. I'm a campaigner for Adopt Don't Shop, and my two best friends have just bought designer lockdown puppies. I can't help but view them differently. Update: thank you all for the responses. I just want to clarify that I am not completely against buying puppies from family breeders. I appreciate that not everyone can rescue, and for some people it's not suitable. I will however always champion Adopt Don't Shop because that's the harder sell, and that's why I devote pretty much all my free time to it. There are bigger things at play that people might not realize, such as price inflation, breeding welfare, etc. But that's not my main issue here. There is a big issue here in the UK where puppies have been bought during lockdown and then given to rescue centres because buyers didn't think things through properly. This is a big issue for me, and one I've been vocal about, especially to my friends. And that's why I'm so horrified that they've done this very thing. I appreciate it's a divisive topic, and I was hoping to discuss the moral dilemma of a friend doing something that goes against your principles, as opposed to the wider debate of puppies. To me it's similar to those who have found themselves questioning relationships with someone who has had opposing views about Brexit, Trump, vaccines, etc., and how they handled them. Did you move past it? How? Thank you all for your help and advice so far. Smile. Original post. First up, I'm not against puppies. I love all animals, especially dogs. But I'm also a big campaigner for rescue dogs and Adopt Don't Shop. I have rescues, I volunteer at a rescue, and I've spent years campaigning for rescues through my business. I've been particularly vocal about it over the last year due to the rapid increase of puppies being bought over lockdown, UK-based, and the knock-on effects of it. I've been very anti-buying right now in this demand peak, and as impulse buys. I've spoken about this to two of my best friends at length, and lots of on social. They've always been engaged and supportive, like every post about rescues and share articles I write. Now I've just found out they've both bought designer puppies, at £2,500 each, and I just can't help but judge them. I know this will make me sound horrible, but I just can't understand how, even though they know about all the rescues needing a home, and the issues with buying puppies during this peak, they still went ahead. Also, they are literally in the very situations that I've been vocal about. Friend 1 rents a high-up flat that doesn't allow animals, is hoping her landlord won't notice. Doesn't drive or have access to a car. Doesn't have any grass areas around the flat, nearest being a minute's walk away. Works full-time and loves going out at night, long holidays, festivals. Currently working from home due to lockdown, but if, as company haven't confirmed but is likely, she has to go back to the office, her commute is 1 hour each way. Friend 2, rents a house in London with friends, moves around a lot, hasn't informed current landlord, is a full-time student with a part-time job, will be out every day 9 to 5, loves going out at night and partying. I know her part-time job just about covers her rent. Even as I write this, I just feel so angry and disappointed that they've just gone ahead. I'm literally at my local rescue center every week taking calls from people who want to dump their puppies because of situations like the above. They've never mentioned a puppy to me before, and I'm convinced it's an impulse buy. I can't bring myself to like their photos of the puppies or even talk about them. But I'm also aware these are my opinions and I can't force them onto others. I'm not looking for the moral arguments around puppy buying, but more whether or not anyone has had similar experiences where a friend has done something that goes against a strong moral belief of yours, and it's changed the way you view them. Because that's where I'm at, my view of them had changed, and I don't know what to do. Any advice would be appreciated.